But when I was in high school, I was a pretty good kid. I got pretty good grades. I knew what was right and wrong. I knew what I should be doing and shouldn't be doing. I was raised in a Christian home. I always went to church every Sunday, every Wednesday. I basically lived there because that's where I went to school too. And just my whole life, I was just, I felt a lot of pressure to get the best grades, and if I didn't get the good grades, then, I'd get grounded, and then I'd have to stay home. So I spent a lot of my high school days just really upset with my parents, just because I was a really sensitive girl, and I wanted to go out, I wanted to have fun with my friends, and I knew some kids in high school that partied, but I never got to do that just because I always wanted to please my parents to do exactly what they said that I should do. So then when I went to college, it was much different. I didn't have to report back to my parents. I didn't have to go tell them, well, hey, I'm going to be out until this time. I could be out as long as I wanted to, and I didn't have anybody to report to. And so from there, it started in high school. I was really into boys. And that's where my attention went. Anytime that I would be upset with my parents, like I would try to go find another boyfriend, and it didn't really matter if I had a boyfriend already. That would just be my main goal, was to find something better, to do, to get the best boyfriend, to have, at least one guy's attention on me. And I found that the way that I dressed and, the way that I talked, would attract certain guys. And I liked that. And every guy that I aimed for or wanted to be with, I would make sure that it happened. And it normally always happened for me. And I started that in high school. And then when I got into college and I moved out of my house, I really dove straight into that. That's all I wanted to do was, go out and party. I wanted to drink, and when I say drink, it's not just, oh, I'm going to have a beer. It was a lot. And I would make sure that whenever I drank, like, I'd be out of it. And it's really hard to say, but I would find myself every single night, like, wanting to, take shots and drink, and then I would find a guy that I would really like, and then I'd throw myself at him. And I was doing this all the time. And that was the attention that I was seeking. There was something inside of me that was missing. There was something else that I needed. It wasn't just, oh, I have all these friends. Oh, I'm so cool. Like, oh, look at me, I'm drinking. And then I would find a guy. And that's how I did it. And I made them my idols. And there were lots of times when I was taken advantage of. And really, like, I hope you know that I'm being completely honest with all of you. And if any of you, like, struggle with this kind of stuff, like, come talk to me. Like, I felt so ashamed. I felt used. I felt rejected. And there was just something that I was searching for, and I didn't know what it was. And I met Homer. He was my next door neighbor. And at first, like, I wasn't honest with him. Like, I was still going out, I was still partying, and I didn't want to change who I was, because I thought that was the best that I could be. I thought that because I was doing all of this stuff, like, God would never forgive me. I don't, like, why would somebody forgive me for all the things that I did? When I would read the Bible, it would make me feel like a horrible person. When I came to church, I'd cross my arms when the worship song came on, because I felt uncomfortable, because I felt like I could never have that close relationship with God again. But slowly, it wore off. Slowly, it wasn't like that anymore. Like, it was just one step after another step that just, God just enveloped me. And, like, slowly, like even though at first I wasn't changing for God, I was changing for Homer. And I would stop partying and I wouldn't go to parties and I'd hang out with him. And then eventually, like, I moved back in with my parents, and my mom was really an amazing influence on my life. Like, you don't even know, seriously. Like, when I was there in high school, they were really strict, but when I went back, it was like the prodigal son story. Like, she opened her arms, she said, you know, like, it doesn't matter what you do, you know? Like, I just felt like she was so accepting. She wasn't judgmental of me, and, you know, she knew I was partying, and she knew that I was doing that stuff, but instead of judging me, she loved me. She showed me God's love, and that made me want to change. That made me want to be a better person. And then I would see my sister, and she, like, really wanted to be a leader in here, and just all the examples that came to my life, like all of those resources, like, they came at such the perfect time. Like, I was ready to give up when I was out there and partying, and it's that life that it just drags you down. Like, it's not the attention, it's not the right attention. When you have God, you have nothing to worry about. Like, I used to stress about my money all the time, and I don't even stress about it anymore because I know that God has me. Like, He has taken me back. Like, I feel so pure now. I feel like I can come to Him and just lay everything down to Him every day. Like, it doesn't matter what sin I commit or anything. Like, He has me. And I'm just like, I'm so thankful for my family and everything that God has blessed me with. Like, it has totally grown me up and made me mature. And I can't say that I regret my past. I can't say that because God made me the person that I am today. And I don't think any of you should feel like anything that you've ever done, anything that you've committed, even if it was today, like, you should never ever regret. Don't ever look back and say, I wish I would have never done that. Look forward and say, like, what can I do? What can I do today? What can I do tomorrow that's going to make it better? I want to share a verse in 1 John. It just says, He is the only true God, and He is eternal life. Dear children, keep away from anything that might take place of God in your hearts. And I hold that so true to myself. Like, I was using other things as idols. I was letting those things take place of God in my heart. But now that I have Him, and He has filled me up, like, there's nothing else that can ever take His place, because He is the number one person. And I don't know if any of you guys are like that on Facebook or anything, but I posted a quote today by Anne Frank, and she says, I don't think of all the misery, but the beauty that still remains. I can't think of my past. I can't think of all the things that I did before, because it's my inner beauty that still remains. It's that I know that God has made me complete. And I pray for all of you that if you have, anything that you need to talk about, or if you want to hear more of my testimony, like, I am an open book. Like, I will pour it all out on you. I will pray for you, anything. And I think that's
That was awesome.